So DC needs to be free because what we are doing here today, right now, would not be possible otherwise. This president wants to silence dissent. He wants to silence protest. He wants to do that everywhere, and we saw him try to do that this week. President Trump and his allies lied about this very event that we are attending right now. He tried to get us all to stay away from here. But did we do that? Our right to protest is important everywhere, really it is, but there is nowhere that it is more important than here, in the capital of the country. We know what authoritarian rulers do. Authoritarians, they try to prevent dissent in the capital. They want to control capitals. They have tried to control capitals through the history of time and space because controlling a capital is a way to control a nation and a way to prevent the transfer of power. This president is no different from those authoritarians, and we saw that on January 6th, right? We saw that. And this president started attacking DC again the day he took office again. Today, we are in our third month of military occupation by armed forces from multiple other states in DC. There are gangs of federal agents who are attacking our communities. And we've heard from so many people today that they've attacked our unhoused neighbors. They've attacked our immigrant neighbors. They've attacked black and brown neighbors. They've attacked our cultural institutions. They've attacked thousands of people who serve as federal workers. They've tried to take over our local police department. They put a disgraced Fox News host in charge of our local prosecutions. And on top of that, their allies in Congress are trying to pass dozens of bills, more than 24 budget riders that take away basic rights from the people who live in the capital of this country. This president is trying to instill fear among the people here. Exactly. We won't let him. We know better than that. We know better than that. We know what to do, right? We know what to do. The people of DC are joyful. If you could see what I see right now, you would see an amazing crowd all the way back to the White House full of joy. The people of DC are powerful. We are going to use that power. We have what it takes here in DC, not just to resist this tyrant, but to actually take him out of power and win. And I want to say, I'm not just talking about voting. I'm not just talking about attending rallies. I'm talking about organizing now like our lives depend on it. When we act collectively, if you could see the number of people here, plus think of all the people in all the other cities, when we act collectively, we have so much more power than we realize. We have way more power than they do. We have power as workers. Who here is in a union? If you're not in a union, get in a union. Talk to your coworkers about collective action. We have power as consumers. We can choose to either fuel the companies that are profiting off of our oppression, or we can starve those companies. We have power as jurors. We have seen that these indictments they are trying to get, they are failing, right? Our people understand the assignment. We see that this administration's charges are unjust. We have power as taxpayers. We are all right now collectively funding this regime, and we have the power to slow that down, right? We know what's on our license plate here in DC. What's it say? That's right. And we have power as community members. We can engage in our sacred duty to protect one another, to support one another in solidarity, and to reject this cruelty agenda that we're seeing unfold. And if those are things that you want to be a part of and you aren't already, come find the Free DC action tents. They're over to the right. I know it's like so crowded you can't even see where I'm waving here, but they're in John Marshall Park over to the right, and you can join the effort and the power it takes to win. We're also at freedcproject.org. What we have seen over the last 10 months is that every single time they attack us, if we respond, we grow stronger. Every time they attack us, we grow more united, we grow our people, and we grow our resolve, and we learn what it takes to take them down. We're building unity, we're building power, and we are going to demand full power over our local money, our DC National Guard, our local laws, and ultimately, yes, we will be admitted as the 51st state of the United States of America. It is not going to be Canada, it's not going to be Greenland, it's going to be DC. And our entire national democracy will always be at risk until that happens, until we actually protect the capital of this country. And that means that everyone across this country needs a free DC. From Ward 1 to Ward 8, from Los Angeles to Chicago, from Memphis to Portland, we are more united now than we have ever been. We are united against deploying the military against our people. We are united against attacks on our democracy, and we are united against this agenda of cruelty that we are seeing unfold before our eyes. Together, we, the people here today, and all our friends we organize, we're going to bring it to an end. Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Free DC!
Washington, D.C., please welcome to the stage Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin, co-founders of Indivisible.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. I'm Leah.
Hey, I'm Leah's husband.
And we are the co-founders of Indivisible. We support a movement of thousands of local indivisible groups organizing in every state of the country. These are regular people who understand that saving our democracy is too important to be left to the politicians, and it's going to take all of us.
Woo!
Now, I've got a question for you. How many kings do we have in America? That's right. We are in the middle of a sprint by Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, their MAGA cronies, to consolidate power and bully American society into submission. They have come for corporations and billionaires, for law firms and universities, for media and civil society. They are ripping families apart, and they are shredding our Constitution while they line their pockets in the biggest heist of all time. And the way they do it is they go on the attack. They make demands. They claim powers they don't have. They bully and they threaten to retaliate, and they see if anyone will push back. And if nobody pushes back, they win. And then they go on to the next attack. They are doing everything they can to convince us that they are all powerful, that they are inevitable, that they will win. And I need you to hear me. It's a lie.
Woo!
It's always been a lie. And the greatest danger we face is not Trump. It is how we, as a society, respond to this bullying, to this chilling effect. If we preemptively obey, if we shrink back, if we make ourselves small, if we do what they want in advance. Now, we saw them try this play this week. Mike Johnson, Stephen Miller, their cronies on Fox News. They have spent the last week on the attack against No Kings, smearing all of us as anti-American. They tried to scare us out of gathering here today. And I've got a question for you. Are we afraid?
No!
Did they scare us off?
No!
Are we going to back down now?
No!
That's right, because what we are doing here today is as American as apple pie. We are standing up for our rights. We are standing up for our neighbors. We are here because we understand. We are here because we understand that when a tyrant threatens your right to free speech, you call his bluff and you stand up. In every action and every day, we defy the regime. So I've got something to say to Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, who spent all week smearing regular Americans. There are nearly a dozen No Kings protests happening across your district today. And since you've not been doing your job for over a month now, I bet you've got time to stop by.
Leah Greenberg, everybody. My God. Look, Leah is my spouse. She's my partner. She's the co-executive director of Indivisible. She's the real strategic brains behind Indivisible. We are indebted to her for her strategic vision. I'm biased, but I think we all agree. Look, I'm just here to tell a story. And I think it's important for us to tell the story of these First Amendment rights that Leah is talking about. And this story I want to tell is about the first No Kings Day. Who here was at the first No Kings Day? Whoa. No, I don't think y'all were there. This was a quarter of a millennia ago. This was 250 years ago, 1775. They called it the Continental Congress. They didn't have the branding we did. But it was the first No Kings Day protest. What they did, they brought themselves together in opposition to this would-be monarchical ruler who was steamrolling the American public. He was occupying and invading American cities. He was terrorizing American communities. He was picking out his favorites and persecuting his political enemies. He didn't believe in democracy at all. Can you imagine? Can you imagine such a ruler over America? It was bleak. It was bleak. So what did our fellow Americans do? They put together a No Kings rally to give us a constitution. That's what they did. That's our history. Whose history? Whose history? Whose history? Look, this is a big experiment in self-government, a government of, by, and for the people. Nobody here is under the illusion that this was a perfect union. That's not what we created. This was a compromise of rich men, of white men, of slaveholding men. But this imperfect union that they put together, it also gave us some fundamental rights to make it more perfect. Who has been using those rights? The abolitionists, the suffragists, the heroes of the civil rights movement, the leaders at Stonewall, the leaders in the Dreamer movement, and all of us here. All of us here. Whose rights? Our rights. Whose rights? Ben Franklin, that lovely Benny, what did he say? Benny told us all, when asked what they had created, he said, a republic if you can keep it. Who's going to keep this? Who's keeping this republic? That's right. We love this country enough to demand more of it. You know who doesn't want us to make any demands? This regime. The tech fascists, the billionaire backers, they want us lazy and pliant and docile. They want us alone and afraid and powerless. Are we powerless? No. Are we alone? No. Damn right we're not. As I stand here today, Elon Musk, remember that guy? He's out of the White House. Jimmy Kimmel, back on air. And for the last week, this regime has been quaking in its jackboots at the thought of 200,000 people in D.C. outside the Capitol where Mike Johnson isn't working and hasn't been for the last month. You know what it turns out? It turns out that we're braver than the billionaires. Who's braver than the billionaires? Who's braver than the billionaires? This is my favorite part, folks. I get to name some names. Jeff Bezos, who took a respected pro-democracy institution that had the slogan of democracy dies in the darkness, and he turned the slogan into corruption, capitulation, cowardice, shame. Mark Benioff, y'all see this guy in the news, the head of Salesforce, who is welcoming troops into San Francisco? This guy who is begging to give artificial intelligence to ICE to triple their size? Shame. Daniel Ek. Y'all don't know who Daniel Ek is, do you? The CEO of Spotify, which right now is robbing from musicians and running ads to recruit for a secret police force that terrorizes our communities. Mark Zuckerberg, end of story. Need I say more? But we're not just booing, y'all. We're not just booing, we're organizing. This is a movement of everyone in this country who is taking a side. We are taking a side. It is a time to choose that side. Are you on the side of the MAGA forces, of the Nazis, of the billionaires? Hell no. So I ask businesses, universities, churches, which side are you on? We're on the people's side. Which side? Look, nobody on this stage has told you there's no need to have fear. We see what this regime is doing. We see them rattling their sabers. We see them sending troops into communities. We see them zip-tying children and dragging them out of apartments. We see this. This movement, the 200,000 of us here, this movement is not a fearless movement. It's better than that. It's a brave movement. The other side wants to suppress dissent, chill free speech, and come after their opponents. We're not here because we're fearless. We're here because we're better than fear. We're braver than billionaires, and we're bigger than ever before. We're going to win this, y'all, because we believe, as all Americans believe, we don't do kings here. How many kings? No. How many kings? No kings. Now, we had a little bit of extra time in the program, and a guy in Vermont with some ideas about this wanted to come up. So let's have him out.
Washington, D.C., are you ready? Here we go. Please welcome the senior senator from the great state of Vermont, the Honorable Bernie Sanders.
Thank you, Washington. Thank you, Indivisible. Thank you to the millions of Americans from our smallest towns to our largest cities in every state in our country who are gathering today at thousands of rallies. Mike Johnson the Republican Speaker of the House called these rallies Hate America events. Boy, does he have it wrong. Millions of Americans are coming out today not because they hate America. We're here because we love America. We're here because we're going to do everything we can to honor the sacrifices of millions of men and women who, over the last 250 years, fought and sometimes died to defend our democracy and our freedoms. In 1776, with extraordinary courage, the founders of our country announced to the world that they would no longer be ruled by the King of England, a king who had absolute power over their lives. They demanded freedom. And to bring that about, they fought a bloody war against the British Empire and the most powerful military in the world. Tens of thousands of Americans died in that 8-year war, but our forefathers fought on and they won. And in 1789, after winning that war, they did something extraordinary. They established the first democratic form of government in modern history. They said loudly and boldly to the entire world, no more kings. In America, they said, we the people will rule. And today, today in the year 2025, in this dangerous moment in American history, our message is exactly the same. No, President Trump, we don't want you or any other king to rule us. Thank you very much, but we will maintain our democratic form of society. We will not move toward authoritarianism. In America, we, the people, will rule. When he was sworn in as the nation's first president, George Washington called this attempt at self-government, quote, an experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people, end quote. My fellow Americans, in an unprecedented way, that experiment is now in danger. It is in danger when we have a president who wants more and more power in his own hands and in the hands of his fellow oligarchs. It is in danger when we have a president who claims that peaceful protests in Portland, Oregon, or Chicago, Illinois, is an insurrection and calls in the U.S. military. And then threatens to arrest the mayors and governors who resist them. It is in danger when we have masked agents working for ICE, breaking down doors, throwing people into vans without due process, and taking them to God knows where. It is in danger when we have a president who sues and intimidates the media, who wants no criticism of him and his policies, and who undermines the First Amendment of our Constitution, the very foundation of American democracy. Our country is in danger when we have a president who threatens to arrest or imprison political opponents who stand against him, including the Attorney General of New York State, a sitting U.S. Senator, and the Governor of California. It is in danger when we have a president who undermines freedom of thought and dissent at our colleges and universities, and who attacks law firms that oppose him in court. It is in danger when we have a president who threatens to impeach judges who rule against him. It is in danger when we have a president who ignores Congress, refuses to spend money that Congress appropriates, and takes away money from states who voted against him. It is in danger when we have a president who demands that states redraw congressional maps to ensure that his chosen candidates win future elections. It is in danger when we have a president who illegally fires tens of thousands of federal employees right here in Washington, D.C. and throughout our country, and rips up union contracts that workers have fought for and won. It is in danger when we have a president who grossly violates the Constitution by accepting gifts from foreign leaders, including a $400 million plane from the royal family of Qatar, and then allows that family to build an Air Force facility in Idaho. Well, let us be clear. This moment is not just about one man's greed, one man's corruption, or one man's contempt for the Constitution. This is about a handful of the wealthiest people on earth who, in their insatiable greed, have hijacked our economy and our political system in order to enrich themselves at the expense of working families throughout this country. Yes, I am talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and the other multi-billionaires who were sitting right behind Trump when he was inaugurated. Remember that? The very same billionaires who funded his campaign, who have bestowed gifts upon him, and who have seen huge increases in their wealth and power since Trump took office. Yes, I am talking about the insanity of one person, Mr. Musk, owning more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. I'm talking about the incredible injustice of the top 1% in America now owning more wealth than the bottom 93%. I'm talking about the richest people in America becoming much, much richer, while 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck, struggling every day to pay their rent and mortgages, pay for child care and education, pay for their health care and prescription drugs, afford decent quality food for their kids, and maybe, just maybe, put aside a few bucks for their retirements. I am talking about our nation, the richest country in the history of the world, having the highest rate of childhood and senior poverty of almost any major country on earth. I am talking about our great nation, having 85 million Americans uninsured or underinsured, and 800,000 people who are homeless, including people a few blocks from here. All the while Mr. Musk is on his way to becoming a trillionaire. I am talking about the incredible danger of the richest people in this country pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into artificial intelligence and robotics, which in the next decade will decimate tens of millions of jobs for the American working class. I'm talking about a billionaire class who believe that they have the divine right to rule, and who not only want massive tax breaks for themselves, but who reject any form of accountability or checks on their power. My fellow Americans, we rejected the divine right of kings in the 1770s. We will not accept the divine right of oligarchs today. And now let's take a brief look at where we are today. Where we are today on the 18th day of a government shutdown, which is depriving millions of federal employees of the paychecks they desperately need and deserve. Let me cut to the chase and tell you exactly what this shutdown is all about. As a result of Trump's big, beautiful, disgraceful bill, which made massive cuts to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, 15 million low-income and working-class Americans are going to lose the health care they desperately need to stay alive. And my friends, studies suggest that when you throw those 15 million people off of the health care they presently have, 50,000 of them will die unnecessarily every single year. 50,000 Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. But that's not all. As a result of that same terrible piece of legislation, over 20 million Americans are going to see, on average, a doubling of their health insurance premiums through the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont, just the other day, people receive notices from insurance companies that their health care premiums in some cases would triple or quadruple. And that is going on all over the country. At a time when we already pay, by far, the highest prices in the world for health care, millions of Americans are going to see outrageous increases in their health care premiums, which they cannot afford. And why is that happening? Why are the Republicans making a broken health care system, a dysfunctional health care system, even worse? Why are they bringing our health care system to the verge of collapse? We all know the answer. We all know the answer. It was to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, Mr. Zuckerberg, Mr. Ellison, and the rest of the 1%. $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, and the ACA, $1 trillion in tax breaks for the 1%. That, my fellow Americans, is what this shutdown is all about. And let me be as clear as I can be. No, I will not vote for a budget that throws 15 million Americans off their health care. No, I will not vote for a budget that doubles premiums for 20 million Americans. No, I will not vote for a budget that forces nursing homes, rural hospitals, community health centers to lay off staff and close their doors throughout this country. All to give huge tax breaks to the billionaire class. So today, right now, I say to my Republican colleagues, come back from your month-long vacation. Start negotiating and do not allow the American healthcare system to be destroyed. End this shutdown. My fellow Americans, we are the greatest country in the history of the world. And when we stand together and don't allow demagogues to divide us up, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. Yes, we can create a vibrant democracy by ending Citizens United and not allowing billionaires to buy elections. Yes, we can join the rest of the industrialized world and guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child as a human right. Yes, we can build millions of units of low-income and affordable housing and allow our younger generation to enjoy the American dream and own a home of their own. Yes, we can make public colleges and universities tuition-free and have the best child care and public school system in the entire world. Yes, we can expand Social Security so that every senior in our country can retire with dignity. Yes, we can raise the minimum wage to a living wage and guarantee every worker the right to join a union. Yes, we can lead the world in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuels and create millions of good jobs as we save the planet. Yes, we can guarantee that every woman in this country has the right to control her own body. Yes, we can have a foreign policy that guarantees that never again will American taxpayer dollars be used to starve children in Gaza or any place else. And now let me raise a question that I have been asked over and over again. You know, Bernie, great ideas, but how are you going to pay for them? Great question. Thanks for asking. And here is the answer. At a time when the wealthiest people in America have never, ever had it so good, at a time when billionaires are paying an effective tax rate lower than a truck driver or a nurse, yes, the top 1% and large profitable corporations will pay their fair share in taxes. My fellow Americans, the establishment, including the corporate media and many of my colleagues in Congress, want you to believe that you are powerless. They want you to believe that you cannot change the status quo. But that is a lie. Throughout the history of our country, when Americans have stood up and fought for justice, they have prevailed. When the founders stood up to King George, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When abolitionists fought to end slavery, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When workers organized to form unions and stood up to their bosses, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When women demanded the right to vote, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When black Americans fought to end segregation, they were told it was impossible, but they won. When the LGBT community stood up for their rights, they were told it was impossible, but they won. Brothers and sisters, they did it then, we can and will do it now. And how do I know that we will succeed? Take a look at this huge crowd right here in our nation's capital. But it is not just here, as I understand it. Today, October 18th, 2025, there are more people out on the streets in more communities all over our country than we have ever seen in American history. Brothers and sisters, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Together, when we stand united, when we don't allow Trump or anybody else to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or our sexual orientation, When we stand together, we will create the kind of nation that you and I know we can become. We can and will create a nation devoted to freedom, justice, and democracy. Thank you all very much.